me give you people a hypothetical situation. Like imagine you're going to a market and you buy something from a shopkeeper and the shopkeeper gives you false promises. What is bound to happen? You're bound to get disappointed, you're bound to get angry. Now imagine the same situation happening on the international level. The big companies, the big conglomerates making false promises. And now there is a concept for this when we talk about in the environment sense. And this is what we will be looking today. Hello and welcome to the InFocus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh, and in today's video we will be talking about or discussing about the topic of greenwashing. So the term greenwashing is made up of two words. So that is, first is green and second is washing. So it is green plus washing equals to greenwashing. So if we talk about the term green, you can say it refers to the environment or the ecosystem, while washing means something which is taken away, something which is going away. So it is about related to the environment, or it is about the environment. So the points of discussion is, first we'll be looking at the news, then about the false advertisements or the promises which the international companies are making, then what is the concept of greenwashing, aviation industry and emissions. In the end, means practice question. Topic is of relevance from GS paper 3, that is environment, and also from the perspective of climate change. Can be asked in prelims, like what is the concept of greenwashing. Important for mains also, that you can write it as a case study also. So let's see the news. Why the United Kingdom banned Air France, Lufthansa and Etihad advertisements over greenwashing claims. So what the government of the United Kingdom has banned few of the advertisements of the big aviation industry companies like Air France, Lufthansa and Etihad, and these ads have been banned over the claims of greenwashing. Now this brings the term greenwashing to the news. Now UK's ad regulator has banned advertisements from Air India, Lufthansa and Etihad Airways, and he's saying that the advertisements were misleading consumers regarding the environmental impact of air travel. So what the UK regulator is saying, that there were few advertisements which are given from these big aviation companies, and these advertisements were misleading consumers. It means that this advertisement was somewhere or the other was dodging with the customers. They were not true, they were misleading, they were forged, and it was about the environmental impact of air travel. So what the consumers which are traveling and they are doing the air travel, it was about the environmental impact which the air travel on which they are doing will have on the environment, and the false advertising about their sustainability efforts and accused of greenwashing. So first of all, let's see that what the advertisement was. So 3 Google ads that suggested the flight operated by Air France, Lufthansa and Etihad were sustainable. So they have said that the air travel which the consumers were doing or were made were sustainable in nature. And few of the lines that they have used are, like for example, Air France has said that they were committed to protecting the environment, while the Lufthansa Airways has said fly more sustainably, and the Etihad Airways has said total peace of mind. And the Advertising Standards Authority, that is ASA, has said that none of the aforementioned ads corroborate with environmental claims. So whatever the advertisements which the aviation giants were giving, they were not true. Whatever claims they were making, it was not true, it was misleading. Whatever claims they were making, they were not doing it, or the claims they were making, they were not able to achieve it. It means what they were doing and what they were saying were totally different. It means they were contradicting their own statements. Now let's see that what is greenwashing. Now, why it has been said that the aviation giants were accused of greenwashing. Now, what is greenwashing? So this was first used in the year 1986 by an American environmentalist and researcher, and it is said that it is a practice in which firms and governments mark all kind of activities as climate friendly and as something that would lead to emissions reduction or avoidance of emissions. These claims are unverifiable, misleading, and dubious. Now, what happens is that the company which is making claims that the air travel which they are doing is emission free or is sustainable, is environmental friendly, these claims are wrong and mark all kind of activities as climate friendly. So whatever activities which are made climate friendly, they are wrong. And then the companies have also said that the emission reduction will also take place and avoidance of emissions are also taking place. But this is all wrong, because when a company or an aviation sector or a flight or the air travel is taking place, it is generating emissions which is going into the environment, and because of which the temperature is increasing, which in some way or the other, even though at one go it is very small in size, but gradually over a large period of time will contribute to global warming, will contribute to climate change. And these carbon emissions which the air travel is doing, the companies or the aviation sector is not telling the consumers or the customers, and that is why it is being termed as greenwashing, that whatever claims they are making of sustainability, of avoidance of emissions, of emissions reduction is wrong, is misleading, because they are saying something which they are not doing. And this helps in boosting the image of the entity. They do nothing in the fight against the climate change. So when the big companies do these kind of false promises, it helps in making their goodwill in the market, but ultimately they are not contributing the same to the environment. And the developed countries are often accused of greenwashing. So it is majorly the developed countries or the big companies which are majorly accused of the greenwashing concept. And it presents a false picture of the progress being made on the climate change front. Now this is where the problem lies, and the biggest impact the problem of greenwashing is having on the environment or the society is that it projects a false picture. Something which is not happening is being projected as something which is happening. So over a long period of time or gradually, this will have a very, very, very disastrous effect on the society, because it is not reducing, the emissions are not reducing, the emissions are actually increasing, while the companies are saying that it is sustainable. It is not sustainable. So there is a forged commitment which is being made with the consumers and the customers. Like you can say, there is a very infamous example of 2015 Volkswagen scandal. So this happened in the year 2015, in which there was a German car company which was found to be cheating in emissions testing. So they were cheating in emissions testing, and they were caught cheating in emissions testing of its supposedly green diesel vehicles. So the green diesel vehicles which the German car company was making, it was seen that even though the emissions which the vehicle was making was way higher than what was projected, because the company misleaded the consumers or the customers just to get the clearance for their vehicle. So these kind of examples or these kind of things which are happening, they are misleading. It can be considered a type of cheating also on the customers. This is dubious, this is forced, and this can have a negative impact on the customer also and on the environment also. Now, aviation industry and emissions. If we talk about the contribution of aviation industry to the emissions, then it is according to the IPCC, that is Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change 2022 estimates. If we talk about, then it is responsible for approximately 2.5% of all human produced CO2 emissions. So 2.5% might look very small when we hear it in one go, but the problem here is that now it can be 2.5%, but it has been projected that it will increase at a very faster pace, and it is set to grow at a very fast pace. So this human produced CO2 emissions, the aviation industry alone is contributing 2.5%, and there are other cases also, like aviation industry is contributing, and then we have the fossil fuels which is contributing the biggest chunk. Then we can also say that the vehicles are also contributing, and then the etc. There are many more things also, but the major chunk is from the burning of the fossil fuels. And then if we talk about the IPCC, it says that the aviation's contribution could increase to 5% of the total contribution by the year 2050. So it means that gradually, slowly, but it will be increasing, and we need to reduce it. And instead of the reduction, what is happening is the increase of the CO2 emissions from the aviation sector. And the UN climate change, it says that the non-CO2 emissions like the water vapor, if are also accounted for, then the airline industry would be causing 5% of historical global warming. So it is according to the UN climate change, it is saying that if we take into consideration the non-CO2 emissions also, like for example the water vapor, then historical global warming 5% will be accounted by the aviation industry. It means that 2.5% by the year 2050 it will become 5%. It means double. It means almost double. On one hand, we always talk about the reduction, but by the year 2050 it is projected that it will double. So point of concern. Now in the end, a mains practice question, and you people need to do your answer writing practice, and it is a 10-marker question. What is greenwashing? How is it harmful for the society? You need to substantiate. So I'm giving you a very basic thing. So what you need to do is first write about the concept of greenwashing, then write about what is the greenwashing, the pros and the cons also that you can think about it, and then how is it harmful for the society. Write any of the examples if you know about the greenwashing that has happened in the recent past, and then what can be the way forward, or what are the steps that can be taken. Like for example, better regulation can be done. The regulator needs to be very careful with whatever advertisements that are going on air, and the regular inspection of the airlines can also be done, or the air travel which is being done. Like these kind of way forwards you can also give. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.